they found financial trails between Maji, former Governor Timothy Silva, and some of the defendants before the court. And also inside the phone, they found code words known among the plotters, including some of the defendants before this court. They also observed financial trails between some of the defendants and Colonel M.A. Maji. Monies were paid to some of the defendants in pursuit of the coup plot, the witness added. And furthermore, he told the court that in the course of the investigation, his team came across a company called Purple Wave, which he said was used as a conduit to sponsor the coup plot. Well, it goes on and on and on.
Let's take this quick commercial break, and then when we're back, we'll talk more on the coup and other headlines this morning.
All across Nigeria, one truth prevails. Football is not just played on the pitch. Arguments fly, tensions shift like defenders on the pitch. And when the ball finally enters the net, that is the 12-player full attack mode. 11 players play on the pitch, but we, the fans, play from anywhere. With Betano, fans don't just watch the match, we influence the game. Register now and join the tough player. Betano, not for persons under the age of 18. Bet responsibly.
Well, it's good to know you are still there, and it's still conversation on Oluyole 98.5 FM. So, talking about the alleged coup now, of what the defendants have not been pronounced guilty yet, but me just thinking aloud here, assuming that indeed there was an attempt to unseat the Tinubu government, the chief sponsor, the one who has been fingered as the chief financier, it was clever enough. Towards the time that the coup was to be executed, it was clever enough to know that it could go either way. So, from what we are reading now, it can be assumed that he fled the country. He left the country. I won't want to say flee at that point. He left the country to watch things from outside, from the diaspora, because he know, like I said, he knows that things could go either way. It could fail, it could succeed. So, but how come these ones that are either serving soldiers or retired soldiers, how come they didn't think along that line, and they should have made contingency plans for them to escape after supposing things go south, supposing things don't go the way it is expected. But then they are now in the nets and they are facing the authorities, and they have to answer to those allegations and to those accusations. Well, they are now accused, no longer alleged. They are now the accused, and well, they will have their day before the military court. But then this I do not know. I thought they said the press said that they were barred from covering proceedings, both at the military court and the civil court. So how come this information came out? I was expecting that it would be after everything that they now tell us that they found them guilty or not. Whether they found them guilty or not guilty. Maybe
there was a rethink. I don't know. There might be a rethink that they should allow the press, maybe select press, maybe.
Because what I'm saying here is it doesn't look as if the court issued something to the press to intimate them of the proceedings. It looks as if they were there.
Yes, there's a kind of the conventional coverage. Well, you remember I can't remember. Yes, great. Is it Great Ogburu? That Oka coup that was sponsored. I think they said it was sponsored by that Great Ogburu.
He was the financier.
Yes, financier. He too fled the country before the coup was executed. The alleged coup. No, not even alleged. The coup was executed. Just the kind of scenario we
the coup that almost claimed General Babangida's life.
Yes. And claimed the life of his ADC,
Colonel UK Bello. All right, banner headline before me this morning, talking politics now. Supreme Court decides PDP ADC's fate today as High Court bars INEC from recognizing ADC state congresses. Okay. So it goes on, and then for the ADC, they can't even agree on their state congresses. They are going to court. So they would not be blaming Mr. President for this again. We do not be blaming the ruling party for this again, because they blame everything that goes wrong in their party. They blame everyone. They blame everyone but themselves. They blame the president. They blame everybody but themselves. And they don't seem to think anything is wrong with the way they are managing the affairs of their own party that is supposed to be that viable alternative, that viable coalition. But then even talking about the Ibadan opposition summit and Bimbo, some people, some elements are already picking holes, and in that summit saying that nothing of the sort, that they are not going to have a consensus candidate as was agreed at that summit. Well, let's see what the Supreme Court deciding the PDP this fate today, and it says the Supreme Court will today deliver its judgment in the appeal filed by the Kabiru Tanimu Turaki-led People's Democratic Party (PDP) and that of the African Democratic Congress (ADC) on the leadership crisis rocking both parties. The apex court, which had on April 22 reserved judgment on the appeals to a date that will be communicated to parties in the matter on Wednesday, fixed today to deliver judgment in the two appeals. Now, Turaki's appeal seeks to upturn the judgment of the Court of Appeal at the Federal High Court in Abuja, which nullified the conduct of the party's national convention held in Ibadan, Oyo State on November 15 and 16, 2025, which produced the Tanimu Turaki-led fractional national executives of the party. And while adopting their brief of argument filed on April 2, the appellants, through their team of lawyers led by Paul Erokoro, SAN, urged the Supreme Court not only to allow their appeal but also to dismiss a cross-appeal lodged against them by a faction of the party aligned with the FCT minister. It goes on and on, but the basic line is that the fate of both political parties will be decided today by the Supreme Court, and that will be final.
Yes. And another development that could further complicate the ADC crisis, a federal high court on Wednesday restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission from recognizing the ADC congresses conducted by the David Mark leadership pending the resolution of the internal disputes in the party. And reacting to the judgment, the national chairman, David Mark, in a statement posted on X by the National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, assured party members that ADC would be on the ballot for all elections in 2027, despite ongoing legal challenges.
So, like I said, Bimbo, those legal challenges, that internal bickering, are they also going to be blaming the president and the ruling party for that? For me, it's even too early, Bimbo. Those juggernauts, they left their respective political parties because they could not get what they want. Although they said things were not all right in that particular political party, they joined both, went into the ADC. They said they were offering Nigerians a very viable alternative. They said it was all in the interest of Nigerians. So if it is mostly in the interest of Nigerians, why are you fighting yourselves for position? Why are you fighting yourselves because you want to serve Nigerians? Why must you fight yourselves to serve Nigerians, to serve Nigerian citizens, to serve the masses, to protect the interest of the masses? Must it boil down to fighting yourself tooth and nail? So, of course, Nigerians are no fools. They know this is about themselves, not really about the Nigerian people, unless you can convince Nigerians otherwise. Otherwise, we would have seen a very a scenario where there will be give and take, where each one of them will be willing to sacrifice their personal ambition and their personal interest just to be able to give Nigerians that viable alternative that they are talking about. For me, in my opinion here, I do not think they are that alternative. Anything can happen, still happen before the elections. Maybe that viable alternative will still come up, but for me, I do not see them as offering Nigerians that alternative, and very sadly too.
Yes. We'll see what unfolds, and I know it is Nigerians that will decide. You remember that time during the two-party system that president, former military president Ibrahim Babangida, introduced, There was the SDP, there was the NRC.
For me, that was the best thing to have happened to the Nigerian electoral process.
Yes,
my opinion.
two-party system.
The two-party system and option A4.
A4, yes.
We will never forget that, Bimbo.
Yes, and now the former governor Otedola was of the NRC, and I cannot remember who was of the SDP. Now, the people supported SDP, yes, in Lagos State. So there were this kind of problems, internal wranglings. Yes. Now the people of Lagos State, like I said, and like you always say, it is the people that will decide. They now saw the handwritings of the wall on the wall that, okay, when there are these wranglings and all these problems in the PDP, is this what will happen when the candidate becomes governor? They just shifted to the NLC and voted for Mr. Otedola, Sir Michael Otedola. Yes, that was how.
That wasn't exactly what happened.
But it was the court. Yes, no, it was a part of the reasons why the people went for Sir Michael Otedola then.
Well, I think rather because of the wranglings, there was litigation, and the court eventually ruled in favor of Sir Michael Otedola. Not that he actually won the election.
Yes. But I think the elections was it held or it did not hold? The elections did not hold before before people voted. Now, try and remember.
That's exactly what happened. It was they could not get their acts together.
So eventually, it
was something of a legal process that tilted things in favor of Sir Michael Otedola. Atiku to Tinubu attempts to blackmail opposition who want to rescue your failed government. That's coming from former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. There he goes again, blaming the president for everything that has gone wrong with his political odyssey, with his current political odyssey, and with everything that is going wrong with whatever coalition that he is a part of now. I think that the president would always tell them they should look inward and resolve their problem. If you are insinuating that the president is a puppeteer that is holding the strings of your party, because that is what you are telling Nigerians now. So a puppeteer can only, in this kind of scenario, a puppeteer can only be successful if you allow him, if you make yourself his puppets. So why is it so easy for him to hold your strings if you say you are a formidable political party and you are committed to offering Nigerians a better deal? Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has warned that attempts to blackmail or silence the opposition will not rescue a government whose record has failed to inspire confidence. He says no amount of defection or intimidation can rewrite the lived reality. The lived reality of Nigerians. Ultimately, the people will decide, and they will do so based on the evidence before them. Yes, I agree with you. They will decide based on the evidence before them, but you are not also offering them that credible evidence that they need, that you are the answers to their problems. When lives are lost and communities are destroyed, governance itself is put on trial. No amount of rhetoric can silence the verdict that comes from the suffering of the people, Atiku said on Wednesday in a statement issued by Senior Special Assistant on Public Communication, Frank Shaibu.
Well, Tola, there's this story here talking about the Chibok scenario then, the Chibok girls that were abducted by the Boko Haram. And, I think some escaped, some were released, some were rehabilitated in some schools. Now, I am seeing here 12 of them, the Chibok girls, they are set to graduate from Yola University. I think it is American University of Nigeria.
Is that not a Maraji Atiku
University? Yes, in Adamawa State. Yes, 12 years after 276 schoolgirls were abducted from Government Girls Secondary School, Chibok, Borno State, by Boko Haram militants. 12 of the survivors are set to graduate from the American University of Nigeria, Yola. And addressing journalists on Wednesday on the university campus, the president of AUN, Professor DeWine Frazier, described the graduation of the Chibok survivors as a global success story. The graduation of several students who were formerly held captive in the Sambisa forest symbolizes more than academic achievement. It is a global treatment and a global testament to resilience, hope, and the indomitable human spirit. Their journey from captivity to a university degree has captured worldwide attention as a victory over adversity, he said. Well, that is a total of 276 girls, it will be recalled, were abducted on April 14, 2014, while 57 escaped, like I insinuated the other time, on the night of the attack, and many others have been released or escaped over the years. More than 80 remain unaccounted for as of recent reports. Well, let me just congratulate the girls, yes, at least for attaining this feat.
Bimbo, I'm not impressed.
Yes,
and is it the government that is celebrating this now? Bimbo, they know the shame. Because we are still having a repetitions of Chibok as we speak. Yes. Now they have sent those ones to. What about those that are still in captivity?
Yes.
Oh, they've been forgotten. And it's sad to think that while they are celebrating this, more girls are still being kidnapped, are still being abducted as we speak, and being sent into where they do not want to go.
And some are still remaining inside the camp. And you know, some parents, you know, actually protested that they should not forget the remaining in captivity.
So they should just go and sit down. Let's have this commercial break, and we'll be back.
Today, April 30th, 2026, is the 88th posthumous birthday of my beloved father, mentor, Alanumi, Chief Michael Adeniyi Koliosho Babalaje of Shakiland. Happy birthday to a humanitarian, a philanthropist without equal, a giver without borders. You are a blessing to Shakiland. Okyogo in general will never forget your contribution. Chief Michael Adeniyi Koliosho, former secretary to the Oyo State government. The world at large will continue to remember your impact. Chief Michael Koliosho, 577 days have flown by since you returned to your heavenly home. You were the most amazing husband, a father to many. You were selfless to your detriment. The life you lived on earth was a blessing to all who knew you. Chief Michael Adeniyi Koliosho will still celebrate you and the legacies you left behind. You are remembered today by your son, Honorable Adeniyi Adebisi, Commissioner for Trade, Commerce and Industry.
Wake up, it's choco time. Dano Choco is here with a taste you love. Just open, pour, and enjoy the chocolatey ride. Dano Choco 3-in-1, ooh, taste it, love it. Dano Choco 3-in-1, ooh, I love it.
Introducing the new Dano Choco 3-in-1. It's tasty, creamy, and satisfying. Taste it, love it.
Alright, we're back, and it's still conversation on Oluyole 98.5 FM. Regarding the Chibok girls that graduated, like I said, well, good for them, and I'm happy that they've been able to make something out of their lives. But what I'm not happy with is for the government to be celebrating this as if they have made another major breakthrough. 12 of the Chibok girls said are graduating. Many more of them are still in captivity, and as we speak, more girls, more innocent children are still being abducted. They are still being taken. So I would only clap for the authorities when they are able to make these things stop. When we no longer have to talk about this narrative, we no longer have to analyze this on air. So that is when I will clap for them. That is when I will say that they have recorded an achievement. And by the way, Bimbo, that university in Yola, the American University in Yola, well, owned by ex-Vice President Atiku Abubakar. I've always asked myself, Now, schools have had to close down across northern Nigeria, Adamawa inclusive, because of the scourge of Boko Haram. University of Maiduguri in Borno State has consistently come under attack. Never, not once, has that university been attacked. Not once has it even been threatened.
Yes.
And it's not as if from my investigations, it's not as if there is that heavy security around that university. So I'm kind of just curious, just me thinking aloud here. I'm wondering why have they not been attracted to that place? But universities that the children of the innocent masses, the children of the poor are attending, that is where those are the universities, those are the schools that attract Boko Haram and these terrorist elements. I'm not insinuating anything, but I'm just wondering. I'm just asking that how come that university has remained them free of these grievous threats?
But Ola, what I'm seeing here is that it is not. I don't know whether government might be involved in this revelation. What I'm seeing here is that I think it was during I think it was a press conference. The president of the American University, Professor DeWine Frazier, that was addressing the press, is describing the graduation of the Chibok survivors as a global success. And he made some points. I'm not seeing any government involvement.
I'm not sure those girls. I'm not sure those girls were the ones that paid for education in that university. We know how expensive it is, and somebody must have sponsored them.
Yes. Yes. We have this one here now. Still talking insecurity here. Gunmen again storm Ekiti community, kill pastor, abduct worshippers during church service. Gunmen suspected to be bandits have invaded a church in Edda Oniyo, the headquarters of Ilejemeje local government area in Ekiti State, killing a pastor while an unconfirmed number of residents were feared abducted. And it was gathered that the incident occurred during a revival session Tuesday evening at the Christ Apostolic Church CAC, while worshippers had gathered for the special program. And according to eyewitnesses, the gunmen stormed the church about 6:45 p.m. and opened fire on the congregation, killing the revivalist, who was simply identified as one pastor, Alegbe, while several others were injured. And the Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) has demanded swift and decisive action after the gunmen attacked that church, in Ekiti State, that killed a pastor and which worshippers were abducted. That is according to a statement by its president, Archbishop Daniel Oko. And the police have also launched a manhunt for the terrorists. I hope that they get the terrorists.
Again, Bimbo, like I always say, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I suspect my suspicions tilt towards a particular direction. Those who are trying to give a dog a bad name to Angus, those who are fighting tooth and nail, the politicians, let me just hit the nail on the head, that are trying to kind of confirm that narrative that Christians are being deliberately targeted and being killed in droves in Nigeria. So the elections are coming. They want to confirm that narrative. They want to give spleen. They want to give leverage to that narrative by the American president, Mr. Donald Trump, who has other interests aside the killing of Christians in Nigeria, who has another agenda that many Nigerians are actually not seeing. So this has happened in Ekiti. Of course, I know a lot of listeners will come for me this morning, but then that is my opinion, which I do think I have a right to. So that is what I think, Bimbo, is happening here. Because how come we have that escalation, that coincidence? It is not just mere coincidence. How come we have that escalation at the point in time where President Donald Trump raised those allegations, where the American government raised those allegations that they were worried about the fact that Christians were being killed in Nigeria. Christians were being killed in Nigeria. So how come around that same time that we have an escalation in these attacks on churches, in these attacks on pastors, abduction of Christian worshippers, Christians worshipping in their respective churches, and it cuts across the country? And like I always say, we must not fool ourselves to start saying that it is people of a particular religion or people from a particular part of the country that are behind these things. Greed, wickedness knows no religion. It knows no ethnic nationality. So these wicked politicians, they cut across religion, they cut across ethnic nationality. So we must not continue to think in a particular direction. We must come together to fight our common enemy. I'm not saying every politician is bad, but the unscrupulous ones, the wicked people, some of them are not politicians anyway, and then many of them are untouchables. Some of them are known, some of them are not known. This is what we must do instead of allowing those who want to divide us against religious lines, against ethnic lines, instead of allowing them to succeed. Those who want to turn us against ourselves, those who want to start a religious war, and then we give them the pleasure of achieving that which they want. We must know that there is more to this than the fact that somebody or maybe some people or somewhere are sponsoring the killing of Christians. There is much more to this than we are seeing on the surface.
Yes. Well, I totally agree with all what you have just analyzed now. Quickly, before I want to make a point. Yeah, well, before that, Plateau, Tinubu vows crackdown on killers, approves 2 billion naira relief. That is after the last crackdown.
Same old story.
Old story.
And the same old line of action.
And police arrest suspects over kidnap murder of 17-year-old in Lagos. And the suspect said, we killed him to avoid exposure. Yes, Tola, I saw a story. Just a story on the social media. Just some ladies. Yeah. They always see a lady, trekking, doing walks, the ones that they do in the elite areas and sometimes across the major streets, during the early mornings. You will see the lady, and now they were talking, they were now saying, yes, see this lady. Or boyfriend, you understand? And they spread it all over. So a guy now accosted them. He said, do you know her? Do you know the Okonle that she is going to meet every morning? I know her very well. I know her very well. She goes, does her trekking and comes back and she stays healthy. So why this kind of, hate speech, rumors, what now? Saying things that you should not say, twisting stories, things that you don't know, going about, it is not good. You remember sometimes when you pick me up when we are coming to present I think press reports. Yes, you remember one lady we used to see.
That's headphone. What has our headphones on?
Yes, that used to wave at. Yes. When we, like, supposing you are moving and we say, only Jack will be out doing it, but we don't believe in that. This should not be happening. Nigerians, this story that I saw on Facebook, how can you just sit down somewhere, just coop up one story about another person, and you have, spread it, rumors.
And the same way we cook up and concoct stories about those in authority, about our government, about what is happening up there, and then things that can actually destroy a country, that can actually bring down the nation.
Yes, and even now in the local community can actually destroy the individual that you are talking about, and it is wrong. It is preposterous. And at least I did a little bit of I studied a little bit of law, mass communication law. Yes, during my school days, mass communication law. They could be sued for slander or libel. Yes, So I just want people, the nation, people in the states, Ibadan, our local communities, they should stay away from peddling rumors, twisting stories against each other that will, not benefit the other party. It is not good. You should sit down, do your job, go to your business, maybe any business, maybe farming, maybe shops, maybe civil service work, maybe anything that you focus on your job. Stop going about peddling rumors that you do not know, twisting stories that you should not even delve your in quote your mouth into.
So much for that. And 210 trillion naira NNPCL probe carry Ajia Wunti ready to testify as Senate committee gives Oluyole fresh May 13 ultimatum, risk arrest. Okay, the immediate past group chief executive officer, GCEO of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Mr. Mele Kyari, has given his word to testify in the ongoing investigation into the unaccounted 210 trillion NNPCL fund by the Senate Committee on Public Accounts. The committee, which is chaired by Senator Aliyu Wadada, has been probing the audit reports on the financial records of the oil company for the period 2017 to 2023. It said it has so far received no satisfactory answers from the management of the NNPCL on what happened to the 210 trillion naira. But for me, it's not about the fact that some people have been asked to come and answer questions regarding this money. It is the fact that 210 trillion naira is actually missing from the nation's coffers. And someone or some people had the temerity to say that to insinuate that this should not be delved into, that they should not be talked about, as if it's gone and that it's gone with the winds. And but Nigeria has not collapsed though. So instead of this money being missing, if you pump it into two key sectors, education, university education, and tertiary health, the tertiary health institutions. Now, Bimbo, even if all the other sectors cry blue mother and scream that they are being neglected, how come so much money is being diverted to those two sectors? At least we'll be satisfied that the money did not go missing. It's better than for the money to be missing.
And this is not the first time that monies have been missing.
And this is just 2017 to 2023. Who knows what has happened before it?
It is the same NNPCL. You remember about, I think sometimes last year, that they said one huge amount of money was missing, and government later said that you just looked the other way, and I'm not saying anything again. This is another revelation now.
And on Oyo 2027 Ali, National Assembly aspirants obtain APC nomination forms, and so it begins. The senator representing Oyo South and leading governorship aspirant on the platform of the APC, Sharafaddin Ali, on Wednesday obtained the party's expression of interest and nomination forms ahead of the 2027 elections, becoming the first aspirant to do so. Ali was accompanied by senatorial opposed from the state, including Senator Yusuf Akintunde, who is seeking to return to the Senate to represent Oyo Central, and Honorable Remi Oseni, who is contesting for the Oyo South senatorial ticket. Well, quite a number of them yesterday picking their expression of interest forms for, Sharafaddin Ali for governorship and others for the National Assembly.
Yes, before we start receiving calls, federal government raises fresh alarm. 15 million Nigerian children out of school. But I thought that they had said they will address that issue, out of school children.
No, they should. Right, time to open the phone lines. It's your turn. 070-5555-1985. 070-5555-1985. We have our first caller here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Bebo.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm calling from Colorado. Now, I saw a video yesterday that circulated online about a police officer that killed the suspect instantly. Everybody saw the video, and IG has ordered the arrest of the team, or police team that killed that guy. Now everybody was been blaming the police officer, blaming the police team, and I blamed him too, and he should be prosecuted. But I look at the other side, and I look at what security operatives face in this country. You know, when you work with criminals, when your job is to arrest criminals and to get it to the head of criminals, you also behave like one, and that's how you catch it. And there was a thing that we watched when we were younger. To catch a criminal, you behave like a criminal. So because you cannot just, fit into their work, except you yourself, you are a criminal. That kind of thing, or act like one. So it was that anger that they said they saw the parcel was caught from him. A parcel of maybe cartridges or bullet or something like that. And the person might be an armed robber, a kidnapper, a terrorist, that kind of thing. But that does not mean you should shoot him. But when you are angry, when you are dealing with criminals and you yourself are thinking like one, there are some things you do that you cannot just explain yourself. The man would have explained himself by now. But that anger did not help him yesterday. So, but I just don't know how his case is. Then the issue of the church that was passionate. The police, the Amotekun should work, and in the next few days, we should know where those nonsense that are happening in the north should not happen here. Immediately, we should cut it and let them know that this is not a place for us to be arrested, to be kidnapping people and all that. But Mr. Sola, Mr. Bimbo, something happened in Mali a few days ago. Those terrorists have been trying to take over Malian government, and they've even invaded Bamako. That thing that has been happening in Mali for years that has not been caught, by next week, if the government is not strong enough, we take over the government of Mali. Let Nigeria be so dragging. This thing will consume us. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, the case of Mali, I'm also wondering why other African countries, why ECOWAS is not doing anything.
Yes.
Maybe because they've distanced themselves from ECOWAS,
yes.
And ditto for the other Sahel states that are under military rule now. But then, like Mr. Ajide said, it will eventually consume all of us if we fold our arms and say that it is the business of the Malians and it is not our business.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is
Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello? Please go on.
I'm calling for England.
Okay.
In fact, the issue of the pillars, sometimes we, personally, as from Benue, what is happening in Benue, in fact, if you are supposed to be addressed, witness everything, you will understand what it is. So sometimes people talking about the opposition or whatever, but what is happening exactly, what they are seeing with their eyes is purely planning. So they are from somewhere, they cover many of the land, the communities in our side. So to think that they are planning them with opposition or whatever. For me, our side is there. We disagree with that. All those things come Islamic, how can I say it? So please, it is to have to be addressed very well.
Thank you very much for your views and opinions.
Though the line was breaking, couldn't really get much of what he was saying. But I guess he was talking about the killings in the community of the Fulani killer herders.
07055551985 or 08055009850. The program is still Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 right here in the city of Ibadan.
Okay, police order dismissal of prosecution of officers involved in F1 shooting. That's what Mr. Jide was talking about. And police arrest killers of JAMB candidates in Lagos. There are two suspects, Elijah and Tony Sonnames withheld. They killed a 17-year-old JAMB candidate, Thompson Omofe Adams. And they've been arrested by the police.
Yes. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes,
Good to have you, sir.
Yes, I will be sorry to use some, rule. It's not permitted to use like something like hash or something language.
Yes, foul languages. It is not. Don't use
but that's
foul
something that
language.
happened, which is very, it makes some to feel somehow. They said you know that you are celebrating 12 years who want to graduate in Atiku University.
Yeah.
Is that a success? Or that's what I see. In fact, it's a complete stupidity. Because why in the first place, why did they go to kidnap those guys? What did they do? What's their first? Now, out of 250, I think another 252, only 12 is graduating. What of others? And that is the nonsense they want to spread all across the country. But that nonsense will never work. It will never work. I just I'm praying to God that God help this present government, President Bola Tinubu to combat all this nonsense so that Nigeria will be peaceful. At the time you will finish in 2031, if I used to say it, this government is the determinant whether Nigeria will still be one or will go back to regional system. This is nonsense now.
Okay, we always have a way of solving these issues. Like I always say, you'll be surprised that when it's election time. That you'll have peace be still. The storm will be calm because those who are sponsoring all this violence, all these things, they are also interested in who leads Nigeria. So they will allow the elections to hold.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I congratulate from you.
Good to have you, sir.
I want to go by what Mr. Gili from Ikolaba said this morning about the issue in Mali. Let me tell you, let me confess, I'm so afraid when I was reading it yesterday on the national newspaper that Mali, being ruled or governed by military junta, was invaded by the Al-Qaeda in West Africa in support of some group populated or dominated by Tuareg tribes. They overrun even the Russian troops supporting the Malian government. What is Nigeria doing? Like I said some months ago, that this was how it started in Afghanistan before this Taliban took total control. Nigeria is not taking this issue seriously. We are foot dragging on the issue of security. The Nigerian government should do something. Tinubu should serve its own ambition, should serve its own personal political ambition, and focus if the country should be run down during his era. The history will not forgive him all. That is it. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
Well, it may be. Well, it's sad that we have to say this, but again, my opinion here, I think Nigeria will not be overrun by the terrorists because those in authority are actually friends of these terrorists by their body language and from the things they do. So, of course, you will not want to overrun your friend, would you? So,
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Alaji Dr. Ilabugu calling from Alata.
Good to have you, Alaji.
I have a reservation for what His Excellency Engineer Shema Kende said about the time that he will not do a religion in Christian, the those who will become governor in the party. It's good like that. We don't reckon with the vision, but notwithstanding, we want somebody who will be so energetic, hardworking, that will be able to save the state, that will be able to bring development, more rapid development to the state. But notwithstanding, we should dig into history. After Baba Ladoja, who is a Muslim, Akala became a governor, and he was a Christian. The same time after him, Ajumabi, who is a Muslim, and then we have Engineer as a Christian. So I think Muslims should be well represented. They should have what is good for this is good for our agenda. But this we should not say because we want somebody who will be so energetic to become the governor. We should at least have concern for ourselves. So 8 years of Christianity, that means a Muslim should come. So in a logical way and effective way, thank you, Dr. Olabu, for your letter.
All right, thank you. I agree with you that that there should be we should be fair to every religion when it comes to who becomes the next governor. But the fact that Governor Seyi Makinde has endorsed someone doesn't mean that that person will be the popular candidate of the people of Oyo State. So it's for the people to decide ultimately whether they want a Christian or a Muslim to be their next ruler. So I don't think we should bother ourselves about these things. Governor Makinde will point to his preferred successor, but it doesn't mean that that successor would win. All right, it's time to go, and been an interesting time on conversation. I'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akombe. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your day. And Sports Tidbit is next.
Wake up, wake up. It's Choco time. Donna Choco is here with a taste you love. Just open pour and enjoy the chocolatey ride. Donna Choco 3-in-1. Ooh, taste it, love it. Donna Choco 3-in-1. Ooh, I love it.
Introducing the new Dano Choco 3-in-1. It's tasty, creamy, and satisfying. Taste it, love it.
Yes, good morning, sports fans. Yes, we're live from the studios of Oluyole in 98.5 FM, your champion star, and of course, it's time for Spotted Beat right here from the mother station. In the ancient city of Ibadan. My name is Toby Ajawale, your host on the program this morning, and on the menu I will be serving you the latest in the world of sport. Where we saw the second semi-final of the ongoing UEFA Champions League go down in the Spanish capital yesterday. And it is all to play for in this season's UEFA Champions League as the first legs have now been done and dusted. We'll be giving you updates from there. Of course, right here in Nigeria, from the domestic scene, we have an update from the female national teams of Nigeria ahead of major football tourneys that they have on their calendar. We'll also be giving you stories regarding several sectors on the menu this morning, so all you need to do is just sit back and enjoy